Oh dear, I'm chuckling here, Brian, but it's almost with a sense of wonderment with what Ben Healy is doing. Can he hold on to this margin? Because everyone else has turned themselves inside out. So has he. Trouble is, he's got to do it on his own at the very last.
Well, let's see what happens this time. If the attacks start, then, you know, you have to fear a little bit for Ben Healy. But for the moment, you know, with this kind of marking out, nobody's willing to kind of strike out. This is Amador at the front here, and then Sheffield in second place. If the attacks do come this time up, then it's going to be difficult for Ben Healy. But I think any neutral watching this, you know, will confirm that, you know, he really deserves this. He has been magnificent today. I did think he was being kind of sacrificed earlier on in the stage for potentially Valgren, but sometimes these things happen, and you know, you put yourself in the box seat for the win. And where this is happening at the front, they're just pushing for position more than anything. The gap is maintaining, and he hasn't really kind of lost any time. He just has to measure his effort up this climb, and then if he gets over the top of the climb, if he gets onto the finish with over a minute, then I really think he's going to take the victory.
It would just be brilliant if he does. Well, the pennant man doing a job here. There's some very, very nasty sort of blade-like signage there. Not nice at all. So he's dealt with the climb. He's only got to do it one more. He's only got to do it once more. The peak will come for him. The last passage will be at 5.2 kilometres from home. These guys are now on the downhill run themselves, back down to the water. Ben Healy holds a margin of 1:26. High-paced, high adrenaline moment for him. Can he possibly turn it to his advantage? I would love him to do so. Just crest it right now. Here he is, head of the race. What a pleasure it is to say that for him. And in fact, it's the foot of it I was declaring. He's still got to do it twice more, so he's not quite at the peak just yet. But it's a peak performance by him. But what's everyone else got? Oh, bit of verbiage going on here. Goodness me, almost blows there. Not quite sure what that was all about. Coming through just at the last moment. Trek Segafredo just coming and causing a bit of upset. Finally coming through to do some work after doing none all day. Temper's fraying. And is this man's challenge fraying as well? 1:23. Let's have a look. By the time we get to they're doing the old "we are not worthy" here. Can he possibly hold on? 13.4 kilometres to go. It feels like this is going to be his hurt zone, and the dream or nightmare by the end. I'm not quite sure. Time's working against him, clock's working against him, and all of a sudden Trek Segafredo are the ones that decide that they're going to have some fun today. Destabilising the situation, maybe. EF Education easy posting the pink, just wanting to mark out those who would push on, and suddenly Utebrechts with Bora Hansgrohe want to get involved and share some of the spoils for the day. 1:17 he's got. He's on the downhill section. These guys still have to make the climb. Let's see what the time is by the time we get to it. It's starting to extend and bounces back. Clark can't decide what it wants to do. Luke Plapp hits the front right now. This is fantastic. Sheffield's involved as well. But Uno X with Tobias Johannesson. Could he possibly get the bit between his teeth and have a dig here? Probably on the last time of asking. Goodness me, Brian. It's absolutely kicked off.
With no attacks of this time up, it does help Ben Healy now. You can see that his teammates have come to the front just to try and kind of block things a little bit. That was more about positioning, but if there's no attacks on the time up this climb, then this man is going to go over the top, down the other side, cross the finishing line, and if he's got the gap that he's got at the moment, over a minute, then I really do think he's got this one.
Bit of a grind for some, and I guess their ambitions to dust, you might say. Michael Hessmann was part of the breakaway, and in fact the break itself now completely and utterly broken. Axel Kirsch was in the break. He's also just peddling squares here. Bataglin for Bardiani, and here come Uno X, and we still haven't forgotten that Alpes and Phoenix with Floris Tatia. Mind you, he looked like he was struggling later on. Jay Vine is going to be their man, I should imagine, by the end of today. He's been riding so beautifully. Why not?
Well, he's right up there in second place at the moment. It's Jay Vine for Alpecin, but so is the blue jersey of Tobias Johannesson. No attacks yet. It's just a strong pace from Uno X. I was expecting maybe something, but nothing as yet. Still all together.
Here comes Evenepoel. He's lit up the afterburners. He's up on the shoulder, almost psychologically so, of Tobias Johannesson in the blue points jersey. So the orange jersey getting himself into position. Meanwhile, this man, stay upright. Come on, get the drive on. Fantastic. Uses all of that curve to gain the impetus. 11.6 with 1:11. I think he's going to get caught on the final climb. Said it too often. Don't want to believe it. Oh, what a brave ride by Ben Healy, regardless, Brian.
And it's a terrific ride, and I'm still believing in him. I think there is a lot of looking behind, and they're going to kind of neutralise each other. Evenepoel came up there just to get a good position because of this sweeping left-hand corner, but you know, Uno X have decided to just kind of keep this pressure on. I really did think I would see some attacks that time up the climb, but it looks as if there are a lot of tired legs out there and are waiting for the final time. If they wait for the final time and there's no attacks on this lap, then it suits Ben Healy because he's just doing that time trial effort. But, you know, performance of the race so far.
Utebrechts, he went very well on Thursday to Stavsbro. I imagine it's probably got some ideas of doing a job here today, but it's a real mix at the end. Paired back to a minute now. Could be almost that's the rule of thumb, really. 1 kilometre per 1 minute per 10 kilometres. But honestly, in this scenario with a tired man who's having to take all the wind, and there's been plenty of that today, on his own face and on his own shoulders, as the usual suspects coming to the fore with a little bit of education disruption going on. So Chavez himself is just trying to mix it up a little bit and break down those who might chase in. Evenepoel looks very threatening at the moment. He's got a fantastic kick on him in the scenario after a very, very tough day. Theo Gegenhardt beaming back to base as to how this one's going to get played, and still Ben Healy goes on. Can he make it to the foot of the climb to the final time at 5.2 kilometres from home? What's your view?
I still think he's going to stay away. I believe in him.
That would be the calmness that came through the radio earpiece from Brian Smith. I hope it works for you, Brian, and indeed for Ben Healy as well. This has been a stellar performance. Lost a bit of time on the descent there, strangely enough, as they all jockeyed for position, which makes me feel that there's still too much firepower behind. I'd love him to make it home, however. Can he possibly? Well, he can. It is a possibility, but will he? 4 kilometres to go to the foot of the climb that may well bedevil him. Beguiling performance as well, and he'll come to the start-finish line. He's just got to get his head down. He's got no other choice than to go empty.
No, full in. He has gone full in. He's got 9 kilometres to go now. He's got that minute advantage. I think it's going to be enough because Ineos and Uno X are kind of looking at each other. They're doing a little bit of riding, but I don't think it's enough. And you know, they haven't attacked that last time up that climb. I think if they had done that, then this gap would have come down well within a minute, but it hasn't, and he's holding out there. And you got to remember as well, with all these kind of changing in directions, he's out the wind, he's in the wind, and you know, he will have that advantage that he doesn't have to kind of push and shove. He can do his kind of time trial efforts. Well, these riders have got road furniture, and it's difficult to chase in laps like this. The only thing that's going to be his downfall is if he runs out of legs the last time up that climb. But I think he's measured this. He's used to measuring it. He's got Uno X and Ineos on his case, but I don't think it's enough.
Minute 8.3. Oh, gosh, look at the effort that Uno X are putting in here, and it's looking quite breathy as well by members of Team Sky. Team Ineos Grenadiers, beg your pardon. Done that before. Tobias Johannesson in the blue jersey kicks on. Indeed, so does just about everybody else. I don't know how much energy preservation there possibly can be at a moment such as this. It's what you've got left after one of the toughest days of cycling that I can remember. 8 kilometres remaining. He holds 58 seconds, and here he is. Will he tie up on the final climb? He hits the foot of it good and proper with 5.2 to go. and then he's got a chance. What margin over the top, Brian, to make it home?
Well, it only needs about, I would say 20, 30 seconds. He doesn't need a lot because it's downhill and he's got 2 kilometres to go. And I think, they'll start looking at each other and they're running towards the finish. I think X are really interested in trying to, whittle this group down to try and take the bonuses at the end with Tobias Johannesson. But you saw the commissaire just come up and just say to Ben Healy, you've got 1 minute. But it's Theo Gegenhardt and X, they're trying to throw everything at it, but the gap isn't coming down quick enough.
It is not coming down quick enough. Who's going to have the most strength for Ineos Grenadiers today, Brian?
Well, I think I've not seen Ethan Hayter,
no.
But I think this is word for Plapp at the moment. So you can see him, the Aussie champion, sitting in 4th place. Tobias Johannesson in blue jersey, the overall leader, is also there towards the front. But Theo Gegenhardt, he's cut this gap down by another few seconds. What have they got left in the tank? Well, they just have to do everything they can. This is the difficulty now, this part of the course. If he can get to the bottom of this climb with about 40 seconds, he wasn't losing that too much on the climb the last time.
Gosh, well, he's got the stature of a climber. He's got the heart of a time trialist. He's got the mentality of a boxer. Let's see if he can maintain the fight here. 7.1 to go. They're eating into this gap. I'm afraid Good and Proper and Evenepoel looks more and more threatening with every pedal stroke. Carl Freddy Hagen in the frame as well for Israel Premier Tech. What about Trek Segafredo? Today, Brian, they've got a few cards to play, but they've played them very late to the annoyance of a few.
Yeah, I'm just looking further down the line there. Is Mads Pedersen still there? Can he hang on? He never had the legs to finish it off yesterday. They have got, their local man, Holgaard, as well, that would really love to do well. And, he comes from here. So it won't be Marco Haller, because he's sitting down in the back, and I don't think this finish suits him anyway. But, a lot of tired legs today. Let's see the last time up this climb what happens. 40
seconds was Brian's assumption would be needed at the foot of the climb. He'll be there in 1,200 metres time. It's going to be about that. It's going to be touch and go, Brian, all the way for Ben Healy.
It is. And now Sheffield comes to the front for Ineos, and they're still persevering with this charge to the bottom of the climb. And then hopefully we'll see some action, but I'm still believing that, I'm still hoping and believing that Ben Healy can pull this one off.
Michael Valgren is also part of the disruptors here, which is fantastic for Education Easy Post. Ben Healy, 41 seconds. He's very nearly where he needs to be. 800 metres to the foot of the climb. If he holds 40 seconds, in fact, he's just on the foot of it right now. It's not the most difficult part. That's still to come. So he's been up one step, 39 and 40 seconds. Oh, gosh, if he gets caught before the line on the flat, that is going to be such a cruel thing. But I would love him to make it home. Ben Healy turning himself inside out, and when he looks back at the field, if he does win today, that's going to be one hell of a result for him.
It is. It's probably going to be the biggest win in his career, and I think everybody's kind of willing them on now. The chase has started to falter a little bit. They're starting to feel the pinch as well, starting to kind of bunch up. So 35, 36 seconds, it's going to be touch and go. Still believe that he can pull this one off, but it's going to be a huge effort from some of these riders in this peloton up this climb if they're going to finally shut him down.
Alexander Kristoff is just coming into third wheel, I believe, Brian. Can't quite see for the time being. Could he possibly drive something special home today?
Well, he's going to try every day. This is a Tour of Norway. If he gets himself to the front, this is what he's trying to do, that kind of drift room, as they say. It's only a short climb, but if he can start it at the front and then drift a little bit, come back on the descent and, try and take the stage victory in the sprint. But also up towards the front, you get Ethan Hayter as well. So,
he's that.
But this road furniture, only one rider now from Uno X at the front. Ineos have decided to kind of sit back a little bit now. You can see that EF have got their rider sitting in second place. It's getting close now, very, very close. Touch and go whether he can pull this one off, but I think everybody's watching this is willing Ben Healy on.
Ben Healy stamping on the pedals right now. He's maintaining that fantastic core strength as well. Just look at just shoulders starting to move just a little bit. He has that style sometimes. 4.3 kilometers from home, and the biggest win of his career. Can he possibly make it? It would be magnificent if he can. 37 seconds. Looks like they're going to be he's going to deny everybody. It'll be Alexander Kristoff in second place by the looks of things, if indeed he kicks off. Ethan Hayter's on his back wheel, as you can see. So Kristoff in second place here, and just tucked in as well. EF Education easy post if their man does. They're doing a great job today, I must say. EF Education, fabulous. You can see the blue jersey as well of Johannesson with Remco Evenepoel in the orange jersey also there. 4 kilometers to go, 35 seconds. It's now time for Ben Healy to switch into time trialing mode. Little double check here, and here he is, still grinding everyone, including this hill. Oh, can he possibly make it home? Oh, it's unkind, Brian. I think the ticker's slightly out at the moment. He's just going to get to the top of this, and then we know the route home. So does he. Oh, it's cruel.
It is cruel, very, very cruel, but he's still got something left in the legs. He's still got 36, 37 seconds. It isn't coming down quickly now, and the principals now are propped on the front on their own, so he's still going to have a gap at the top of this climb.
Come on, Ben. This is what we want. If he can get over the top with 30 to go, then he might just make it home. But look at the rest of them. They're sprinting up this. And here comes Evenepoel, the heartbreaker, centre of the road in the orange jersey. He's got Platt with him as well. Some others, likewise Tobias Johannesson in the blue jersey. All the principals are coming in. Ben Healy, is he tying up on this climb? 24 seconds, 25, 23. It can't decide how to reflect. And it is Johannesson that kicks off in the blue jersey. He's gone. Evenepoel sees it as well, and Plapp's also in the frame here to play the game, and here comes Johannesson up over the top. He's probably got sight already of Ben Healy. Ben Healy's going to get to the crest, and he's already away down to the water's edge. But these guys, well, will they go pop? That's the big question as well. Whatever effort you put in right now is going to be left behind on this climb by the time we get to the very end and the line itself. And what line could be written by Ben Healy? Oh, is it one in the sand that nobody can stretch over? Let's wait and see. This is absolutely phenomenal. What a drive from home. And here's Ben Healy. Oh, Jay Vine also in the mix here. And they've got sight of him, and it's not going to be, I'm afraid. Kristoff on the drift, as you quite rightly pointed out, just trying to have carried some impetus here. He gets to the crest just about right now. Also here, Mats Schmidt, the Danish champion. 3.2 to go. And Ben Healy puts his head to one side in the Cadel Evans kind of form, and here comes Evenepoel. He's coming up over the top. Oh my goodness, they're driving it home.
I thought for a moment they were just going to look at each other because I saw the GC riders, but Evenepoel was going to kill off the attempt here from Ben Healy. He's still got about 20 metres, but it's not going to be enough. So there is going to be a slight regrouping. We've got Plapp, Evenepoel, Jay Vine. They're all there just queuing up behind. But I feel bad for Ben Healy. He only needed about 20 seconds and he could have pulled that one off. But it was that attack there from Tobias Johannesson, and it looks like Evenepoel thought for one moment there they were going to look at each other over the top, and Ben Healy was going to keep that small gap he had, but it doesn't look good for the last couple of kilometres after we do this sharp left-hand turn.
No, it doesn't. Kristoff's just desperately trying to get back on. So you have Ben Healy here, Healy the brave, Ben the brave. Behind him is the orange jersey of Evenepoel. This is Alexander Kristoff wrestling his way through, trying to make himself as small as possible. Difficult task when you're such a big man. If he was up towards the front, it'd be absolute favourite, but he's not. He's out of position by a couple of 100 metres as they chase down. He lost a bit of ground on that climb. Here we go then, left-hander coming up. Johannesson in the blue jersey versus Evenepoel in the orange jersey. Platt there in the white. Still Ben Healy holds a margin. Has anyone got there? Oh, and it's Jay Vine that wants to break his heart. And Jay Vine sets off after him now for Alpecin Fenix. The others tuck in. I think they were almost going to offer up, not exactly a favour here, but preserve themselves until the very last. He's going to see the Flamme Rouge, and the head dips towards his own bars here. A braver man you would be hard pushed to find. Who's in for Intermarché here?
Yeah, I'm just looking. I think
Lawrence Hoyce, yeah, has made it over.
Hoyce
yes,
is there.
There we are.
They could come back together again.
It could.
Look at the group behind.
In which case, Alexander Kristoff could well indeed get a chance here. And as they look behind, Ben Healy kicks once more. Come on, Ben, this is amazing.
Yeah, it looks like the GC battle, they're all looking at each other. I thought they would do that at the top of the climb, but they haven't. Ben Healy still in with a chance, but the group is coming from behind, and that's what they're all looking at, this gentle regrouping. And I think the Ineos riders that are at the front are waiting for Ethan Hayter.
6 seconds is the margin. That's what he has at the moment, and Ben Healy finds his heart yet again. The head dipped momentarily, and he picks it back up. He could be loud and proud at the end, but it would take an awful lot, especially with the likes of Kristoff arriving. And some very, very fast men are here, and Evenepoel doesn't want to wait for anyone. Oh, they've got it wrong, some of them. Drifted too wide with a closed section of the road. Oh, my life. What a finale. There's the Flamme Rouge. Ben Healy takes this big left-hander right now. Phenomenal. Down by the water, it's going to be heartbreak for him and every neutral that's watching this. And here comes Evenepoel. He's got Tobias Johannesson in the blue jersey. Plapp's also here. That's the trio that's chasing in. Some disruptors just going on off behind, and it's Jay Vine that's trying to bridge to them. It's a quartet that includes Ben Healy at the moment, and he is going to be done. Did he flick the elbow out there rather cheekily? I think he possibly did, and it's not going to be Ben Healy as the bike skittles away in the last couple of 100 metres, and we'll wait for the emerge as they come around the corner here. Oh, what heartbreak for Ben Healy, and indeed all neutrals. And Kristoff's got himself up towards the 4 as well. Does he? No, this is the secondary group. Still Ben Healy's here. This is amazing. Plapp picks it up right now, does he? Tries to come round. Last 100 metres, Ben Healy gets swamped. Oh, and there comes Evenepoel. Drives it on. Tobias Johannesson in the blue jersey. Ben Healy's going to get a top 5 finish here, but it's Evenepoel at the line ahead of Tobias Johannesson, Plapp, Vine, and Ben Healy, the brave. Oh, I've got nothing left, and I'm surprised if Ben Healy has got anything left as well. I imagine he's going to be in tears. I've got a lump in my throat as well, I can tell you. Nearly 5 hours of racing, and that was absolutely the bravest ride I've seen for quite some time. Not quite to be for Ben Healy, but what a fantastic finale that turned out to be.
It was absolutely stunning, that final. The whole stage. Okay, we had that headwinds. Let's look at this finish again, because it looked as if Evenepoel kind of drifted out a little bit. Platt was annoyed about that, but one thing is for sure, you know, possibly, you know, a lot of people would say that Evenepoel can't sprint. Well, he sprinted well there. You know, I think it came down to what you got left in the legs, but yeah, Evenepoel wins the stage. Tobias Johannesson, I think, gets second place. But just watch this now. Evenepoel comes round the corner, and difficult to see, but he drifts out. And Plapp has got his hand up there. I don't think anything will happen here. But Tobias Johannesson takes second. Plapp takes third. There was 6 seconds between them. Only 2 seconds, so there'll be 4 seconds between them. Jay Vine also up there. But poor Ben Healy, I think he even hangs on for 5th place.
He does.
I really did think that, and I was willing him on to win this. He did look good, and I thought he just had enough, but it was just Evenepoel in the end, and you know, the some of the efforts of some of the riders in the last part there that just put paid to Ben Healy's win there.
Remco Evenepoel, 7 minutes of thereabouts short of the